Claude is on a roll, and once again, it has released something that can be a complete game changer. In this case, yes, we're talking about Claude Design. For those of you who haven't heard about this, basically Claude has now released a new tool, a new functionality called Claude Design, and it is going to be very, very useful for anyone who basically has a brand. If you need to make presentations, documents, prototypes, apps, websites, landing pages, whatever it may be, and design is a pain point, meaning you have to keep your branding, you have to put an effort in design, and maybe it's not your main area, or maybe it is and you just want to automate and do it faster, well, this is going to be amazing. The question that you might be having is, hey, is this new Claude Design thing better than Figma, better than Canva? Well, I'm not going to answer the question. I'm going to show you some examples so that you can come to that conclusion by yourself. Because my goal with this video is to show you three different things. Number one, show you what Claude Design is and how you can access it and use it. Number two, we're going to do a live example. In this case, we're going to build a pitch deck together so you can see what a presentation looks like. And number three, we're going to build the interface, the design of an app together so that you can see. So without any further ado, guys, let's jump right into it. So first of all, how do we access Claude Design? Well, very simple. First of all, we're just going to enter into our Claude account, our regular account. By the way, if you have the downloaded version in your desktop, this is not going to work. You need to use, for now, the web functionality. So you're going to have to access from the web, claude.ai, and you're just going to log in. Once you log in, you're going to open the sidebar, and you're going to look here within products for design. Sometimes this may be hidden, so you're just going to either have to click on products, just like so, and it's going to pop up, or sometimes you might need to click on a little arrow that says more, and you'll see it, okay? Once you click, you're going to see how you're going to be taken to Claude Design. And just like that, we have now accessed Claude Design. Up to this point, fairly simple. Now, since it's not the first time that I have entered Claude Design, my interface is going to look slightly different. You're probably going to get a pop-up the first time that you open it. Don't worry, I'm going to show you what that pop-up is in a second and what we're going to do with it. I'm just going to give you a quick tour. First of all, here we can see that we have prototypes. We can make slide decks. We can use our templates or other. We'll see what this is in a second. Here we can see the different design systems that we have. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to build a design system. To quickly define what a design system is, just think of it as your brand. So you're going to have your logo, color, typography, brand values, all the information related to your brand in each of these design systems. And if you have multiple clients or multiple brands, you're going to have a design system per brand. Okay. Here you're going to be able to see everything that you have built in the past. You can also see some examples of different prompts that have been used to create different things. So here we have, for example, a card. Here we have a calculator that has been designed. Here we have an onboarding application, which is quite cool. You can, by the way, interact with it. You can zoom in, you can scroll, and you can look at all the different things within these apps or all of these examples. This is great, by the way, to get ideas. And as you can see, the prompt is right there. So if you want to build something similar, you could copy this prompt, make the edits that you want, and apply it to your own project, of course, using your own brand kit so that it uses your colors, your logo, and absolutely everything. Okay? Now that we've done a quick tour, I'm going to go to, like I said, the pop-up that you're going to receive. Because the first time you open this, it's going to ask you to build a design system. Because the whole point of Claude Design is that you create a design system, which, like I said, is just your brand with your colors and all of your information. And from there, you can build. So the first thing it's going to ask you is to build a design system. In my case, I've already built some. Okay, and that's why you can see here, I have a default system. But if I didn't have one, what would happen is this. This is the exact pop-up that you will see, where it's just going to say, set up your design system. Okay. Now, in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one for Centella Education, which is our educational institution in which we teach professionals how to leverage and use AI. So we're going to use our own example. You could use any company that you want. First of all, as you can see, it's going to ask me about the company name and some information. So I'm going to give here the name of the company. In our case, it's Centella Education. And then what I'm going to do is I have a description. I'm actually going to cheat a bit, and I'm going to go to our YouTube channel, and I'm just going to copy our description. I'm going to take most of it as is. Let me just select it right here, copy, and paste. And I'm going to just change the word channel. So I'm going to say Centella Education is an educational company for experienced professionals who want to use AI to work more efficiently, earn more, and stay ahead. The channel is led by, this is actually our Spanish YouTube channel, so our English one is this one. Okay, who have trained over 500,000 through online events. I'm going to say people rather than people, I'm going to say students. Okay, and there we go. And here you can see all the information about our company. Perfect. Then if you have your own GitHub repository, you could add here the link. You could also add code from your computer. In my case, what I've decided to do, which I'm assuming is going to be the case for most of you, is I've just prepared a very simple document with my brand kit. How have I done this? Well, literally, I just went into Claude, I gave it my website and said, hey, this is my website. I want you to extract the font, the colors, and just make me a one-page brand kit. And this is what I came up with. Okay, so these are the colors that we use. This is the name of our business, and this is absolutely everything. So what I've done is I've downloaded this, and I'm going to add it to the design system. Let me zoom in a bit so you guys can see better. Perfect. I'm going to add it right here. Okay, let's see. Add fonts, logos, and assets. Browse. And we're going to add that's actually the dossier. Here's the brand kit that I'm interested in. And I'm also going to add here our logo. Only thing is it's not a PNG, it doesn't have a transparent background, but hey, I'll still upload it anyways, just so it has it. Okay, perfect. Any other notes? Well, let's give a bit more information and say we are a disruptive and modern educational company. We like a minimalistic and modern design. Just a few notes. We could add a few extra instructions. Most of it's going to be here in my brand kit and as well, of course, in the logo and the descriptions that I gave. Just like that, you're going to go to continue generation and you're going to see it's going to take about 5 minutes to generate. Why? Because it's going to prepare absolutely everything. We're actually going to see a small part of the process and then we'll cut it. And once it's ready for you guys, we'll show you the end product. But as you can see, it's going through absolutely every single file. Okay, it's reading everything. And what it's going to do is it's going to start creating the headers, the buttons, the slides, absolutely everything ready to design and what it should look like. Okay, so the progress is going to be here on the left-hand side. So if you guys are doing this, doing this while you're actually watching the video, you can see on the left-hand side how you're being informed of all the process, and you're going to start getting a preview here on the right-hand side. Like I said, to not have you guys waiting, we're going to cut the video here, and once everything is ready, we'll come back and show you the end result. Okay guys, so it's still working. It's been about 3 minutes, but check this out, okay? It's already giving me a design system. It says, hey, I'm missing your font, which don't worry, we're gonna give it to it just in plain, simple, natural English just here. But look, check this. It's found our colors, fantastic. Then we can see here display type, so we can just click on it and it's gonna show us everything. So this is our H1, our headers, our subheaders, H2, our H3s. We can have here, let's see, body type. There we go. Look at this, perfect. This is exactly the colors that we use. These are our font size. When we use bold, semi-bold, everything. Here we go. We have our labels. Fantastic. Okay, so far it is creating an incredible brand kit. This is what it's called, remember, the design system, and it's going to memorize this. So every time we create anything regarding design, so we're going to do it in just a second, a pitch deck and also an app, it's going to have all of this information already. So everything's going to be perfectly tailored to our brand, and that's going to make our design so much easier and much simpler. Okay, so check this out. Honestly, it's truly incredible. I'm going to wait until it finishes. As you can see, it's almost done. Maybe it took about 3 minutes. We're going to give it another 2, and then I'm going to just say, hey, my font is Poppins, so please update what's missing, which in this case, it's just this. So again, we're going to wait, and once it's ready, we'll come back to you guys. All right, guys, so finally, it is ready. It took a bit longer than 5 minutes, maybe 6 or 7. And here we have everything, like I said. So fonts, accent color, surfaces, the spacing, scale, button design, absolutely everything. And honestly, it is spot on. By the way, as you can see, we can give feedback. In this case, I'll say it looks good, excellent. But you can see how I get this little blue circle, which means, hey, you still haven't reviewed this. This case, for example, looks good. So if I don't like something, I can just ask for changes. And changes, I can literally just type in here what I want without any need of fancy or advanced design knowledge. And of course, without any experience in coding, okay? Also, I like what it's done here with our logos. So honestly, it's pretty good. Okay, so now we're good to go. We have our design system ready. And that means that we're ready to start creating. So that's actually what we're going to be doing. We are now going to go back into Claude Design, and we're going to actually build our pitch deck. So what we're going to do, as you can see, is now here within our design systems, I'm going to have what I've created. In my case, I have this one right here. Fantastic. But you can see also if you've made multiple. So for example, I made this one right here. Okay. I'm actually going to start it. Okay, so now that we have our pitch deck ready, as you can see here, it is selected. Okay, if we had multiple, we could select them here. We're going to go here to slide deck because, like we said, the first thing that we're going to do is create a slide deck together. So we're going to give a name. In this case, I'm going to call it Live YouTube Example Deck. And here we're going to select our design system, which in this case is the one we just built. I'm going to click here on create. And here we go. It's going to ask us for a prompt. Here's where we're going to explain what it is exactly that we want to do. I've prepared a prompt here in advance. So as you can see, I just pasted it right here. And you're going to see we have here make a deck. So this is our prompt selected to create a deck that was done automatically by the system just when we selected make a deck. And here is my prompt, which we're going to read in a second. I'm just going to start sending it so we can start working. But pretty much you can see the same interface. On the right hand side, you're going to see everything that is being created. And on the left hand side, you can see the process. Okay, so here's my prompt. Let's see if we can preview it. Or if not, I'll just paste it here again. Okay, so while this is creating, I'm going to quickly show you the prompt. Okay, we can see here how on the left-hand side, it's getting to work. Meanwhile, I'm going to show you the prompt that I have used. In my case, I've used what's called a meta prompter, which is basically when you use another AI tool to make the prompt for you. Okay, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically I just wrote the following. You are a world-class pitch deck designer and storyteller. Build me a fully interactive slide-based pitch deck as a React component for Thintea Pro, an intensive AI training program. So basically what this pitch deck is going to show is what our program does and how it helps professionals learn and apply AI professionally without having any technical experience or even any AI experience in the past. Okay, we've given it again the brand kit, although it is already within the design system, as you know. We've given here our product, so it's called Thintea Pro. We've given it the position, duration of the program, the format, all the modules within our program, so all the information it needs for the pitch deck. That's basically it. The team, social proofs, the key benefits, and then here is each slide that we want. So we have requested 10 slides, and we're going to see it right now. Okay. Again, you can also see, by the way, here is our prompt that we're going to use next, which is going to be for our student application. But for that, we're going to wait just a second. Once again, this might take a few minutes. We can actually see how it's starting to create some work. We can see here the assets, the deck stage. But again, we still have a bit more to work. So we're going to pause it here for you guys, and we'll come back once the deck is complete. Okay, guys, so it's done. Let me show you. It was doing the entire process here, and it was creating everything for me. The folders, pages, components, scripts, documents, absolutely everything. And it gave me a preview, which I'm going to show you. But I saw something that made sense, which is I hadn't given it any images. So when it got to the instructors page within this presentation, it didn't have any pictures. So I uploaded my picture right here in the chat, and I said, find attached Daniel's image. So it redesigned that image, making sure that it attached my image to the presentation. So this is just to show you how simple it is to make any changes that you want. You just type in here what you want. You can upload any more assets that you want, and those are going to be applied. Now, we can find the pitch deck right here. So let's click on it. Let's click on open, and let me show you the presentation that's being created automatically without us having to do anything but generate a prompt with AI and have our design system. First of all, check this out. Let me zoom in so you guys can see a bit better. There we go. So here's our logo, Thintea Pro, master your AI in 4 months, correct? That's what our program is about. We have these animations, as you can see. Perfect. Okay, check this out. No code required, at your pace, live and together, certified. All this is correct. All of our modules, even our bonus modules are there. Fantastic. The process to learn, the team. Again, here you can see how it took my image. And by the way, something very interesting, how smart this tech is. So I uploaded a very high quality and a large file with my image. And it said, hey, this is far too heavy for a deck. So I'm going to crop it, and I'm going to zoom into his head because he's giving me a picture from his waist upwards. And I need a picture just of his head. So there you go. You can see how powerful these models and these tools are. Okay. And the presentation, in my opinion, looks incredible. So let's keep going. Here's our rating out of 5 from Trustpilot and some reviews. Amazing. Our graduation, beyond the course, and enroll now with our website. Guys, this presentation is truly beautiful. You could have think a designer has done this, or someone who spent hours, a whole day on this presentation. It was done in 15 minutes by Claude with a copy and paste prompt and our design system. Again, guys, the potential here is huge. And if you work in design, you have to be using and leveraging this technology. Now we're going to move on to our final example. All right, and now let's go with our final example. In this case, we're going to be creating an application for our students. So let's imagine that a student is within our program, and we've developed an app so they can access all of the modules that we have within our program. So once again, we're going to go here to Claude Design. We're going to select prototype again, and we're going to give it a name. In this case, I'm going to call it Thintea Student App. Okay, just like so. Once again, I'm going to select my design system, and I'm going to click on Create. Here is where we need to prepare our prompt, which we had already prepared in advance. Okay, and we're just going to hit send. Once again, I use my meta prompter in order to prepare this prompt, so I'm just going to quickly show you a bit of the prompt. You're a senior product designer and React developer. Build me a fully interactive mobile-first student portal app for Thindeya Pro, an AI training program. This will be used as a live design demo, so it must look stunning and feel like a real product. Here we have the summary of the brand kit, although as you know, it's already part of the design system, which has a lot more information. And here's the content. So these are the modules. It's going to act like module 0 is complete and module 1 has been completed 60%, so it's still in progress, and the other modules are still blocked. Okay, this looks cool. And again, remember, this is more the design functionality, right? This is not coding the actual backend of the application, but here rather it's focusing more on design, hence the name Claude Design. So once again, we're going to give it a few minutes. We're going to let it work. We can see how on the left-hand side, we're going to get all the process here. We can see the checklist of everything it's going to do and everything it has done. And on the right-hand side, we start to see some progress. Once again, we're going to cut this for you and we'll come back once you have the final product for us to show you. All right, guys, finally, our application is ready. It did take a few minutes. I just left to do something else, honestly, while Claude got to work. And let's check out the final result, which I must say I've already peeked around, and I think it looks fantastic. Remember, this is an application for students who would be within our program. So we have here our logo, Lindsay. The name is Lindsay Jones. You can see here the initials. It says the progress. We've done 2 out of 11 modules. We have 9 modules plus 2 bonus ones. That's why it says 11. So perfect. You've done 18%. You can even scroll down and you can continue. So module 1, lesson 4. Oops, I clicked on it. Let's lower this right here. And here we can see essential tips, foundations of AI, 60% of the video is ready. And then we can see, excuse me, the module is ready. And then here we can see the rest of the modules, which I think is great. Then we also have another tab here for our live sessions. So let's click on it. And here we can see, so we would have with Dorothy a session at 10, with Armand a session at 6:30, and so on and so forth. Okay, with the different calendars, which I think is quite impressive. And these are actually the real dates of our sessions. So quite impressive. And then here you have the profile of the user. So in this case, Lindsay Jones, she's completed 2 out of 11 modules, 12-day streaks of logging in every single day for 12 days in a row. She's done 8.5 hours of training. She joined in 2026, and she's 18% away from her certificate. She can play with her notifications if she want to download videos over only Wi-Fi, language, and log out. So guys, how does this look? It looks incredible. It looks completely realistic. And again, we just used a prompt that we copy and pasted from Claude, and we used our design system that we have created. And this is the power of Claude Design, that anyone without any previous experience in coding or in design can create highly professional brand kits, and with it, presentations, pitch decks, landing pages, websites, applications that are fully functional, etc. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned a thing or two. And if you want to learn more about AI, Claude Design, Claude Code, automations, prompting, ChatGPT, absolutely everything, we are hosting a free class every single week of the year. Yes, completely for free every single week. You can sign up in the link in the description. Once again, it's free and we do it once a week. Hope to see you there, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Have a good one.